I don't give all of the principles, because remember, this is still sales. I give one principle, like I may talk about understanding their love language. It's important that you are that you are concerned with what the person is saying to you, that you listen clearly. Or I may say that you got to understand that all spouses are not talkers. That when they give you a window and they open up, shut up and listen. Those windows that they give you could be strategic moments in that person's life. You get a chance to hear the pulse of their heart. Don't close it with talking so much of sharing what you want to say that you don't give them a window to hear. And that may be a very powerful nugget that a person gains. So they were like, okay, I got that. I want to hear some more. So you give them a chance to get the whole series that you've done. And that whole series or that whole teaching that you've done, many times people will want to hear that teaching. I very rarely will put entire teachings on free formats. If I have it, it may be on my website that I give partners that subscribe a part of a certain club, and we'll talk about club membership in just a few minutes. This approach to doing it can create what we call fund money. If done right, it can create $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Because even with your mailing list, whenever you come out with a new full series and you've got over 1,000 people in your mailing list, that may be a hot button for people. And if you're selling them for $9, you're liable to pick up $50 people that want that series. 50 times 9 gives you what?
$600.
Roughly. 50 times 9, 450. Gives you 450 people easily. $450. So if you got 100 people that's interested in that series, that one series, that's almost roughly $1,000. What you'll find is that that's not your YouTube, that's people that you directly drove there from your emails. So let's say your marketing strategy is that your information is keys for better living. Keys for better living. And every week you're coming out as a coach with, now this is part of that public relations part of as a counselor, a coach. I do what is called a Better Living Club. So for $19.99, you get teachings that I do for better living. Every month, a different set of teaching comes out. So for $19.99, well, I want you to understand the math. With 100 people subscribing to that, that's roughly $2,000. You have 100 subscribers. And to become a member, they get a trial period. $1 or $3 to subscribe. They have 3 days to cancel it. And from that on, it's $19.99. It used to be $29.99 on a monthly basis. It automatically debits their card. They have access to my website. They're able to download the videos, listen to the videos, see new teaching series I've got on specific matters every single month. This can create easily $2,000 to $5,000 a month when your base bills. Now, remember the other one can give you anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. This can give you anywhere. So at the top of the tier, we're now at roughly, let's say, 8,000 strong. Now, we haven't even got to the coaching aspect, but now, because you are an authoritarian on this matter, people believe that you can now do what we call public speaking, speaking out about that area. So let's say that we are at a women's meeting and a women's club invites you to come in to be a keynote speaker for their annual thing they have. So what I oftentimes recommend is that when going to stuff like that, you bring three things. A small selection of CDs. Why small? Everybody's car don't take CDs anymore. They're becoming obsolete. A small selection of DVDs. Everyone don't do DVDs anymore. As a matter of fact, do I have a DVD player hooked up in my home? Netflix, Hulu. Yeah, or I have them on. The last one I'm getting ready to say is we do these things that are called flash drives. You can have flash drives designed with any picture, logo, or information on it, and you can self-load them yourself. So whatever your series on, if you got keys to relationship, you can have it designed with keys to relationship. You can load audio flash drives, audio or video, or both. And they sell those flash drives because you can put more information on them. Anywhere from $15 to $20 for that flash drive. Well, when I go to these settings, times past, you can sell 100 of these flash drives. That is $1 to $2 grand, or 1,500, excuse me, 1,500 to $2,000 you can make from those workshops. Listen to me. You never speak without product. Because that group, watch this, may only offer me $1,000 to be their speaker. Well, it's okay, because if they give me an audience of 500 women, with 500 women, I'm going to move, because I'm going to be charismatic, several thousands of dollars of product. Ready? There's another vehicle. Now, I'm going to talk about this because most of you may not have ever known that you could be an author. Most of you never believed that it was possible. The next piece to successfully doing this is you must have published work. There's several formats of published work. You can do what we call an ebook, and that ebook should be published, and we'll show you how to go about doing it. And you can have it on Amazon. Once you put your ebook on Amazon, and there's tons of other crawler services that you can use so that they can get it on their Kindle or whatever, you are said to be the person. Then there is self-publication. And that's for hard copies. There's a couple of small companies like 48 Hour Book Printing, iUniverse. There's a couple self-published. You can Google self-publishing companies. Some of them are kind of taxing. Kind of really depends. You said, well, I've been trying to work on a book for the longest. Now, let me tell you about ebooks. Ebooks, you can also sell them yourself and not send them through the Amazon and share the money because, of course, there's a shared thing. The great part about putting it on places like Amazon is solely that you have the benefit of a larger market of people being able to see the product that you've got. In other words, it's on the Walmart store shelf by doing it that way. Now, self-publication, you want ISBN numbers, you want all of those kind of things, and those are great because when I travel, sometimes this will sell. A book will sell when you're traveling. It sometimes will sell faster than audios and everything else. A book will sell very fast. So the ability to sell anything from 10 books that sell from $10 to $19.99, as long as you keep it under the $20 range, so $19.99, $19.95, $10, it will sell. At an event with an attractive cover for your book, you can move 100 books easily. Because what you do is you go back to the book table and you signature each of the books. Now, this is the key, there's a trick to that. Before you go up to speak, you're untouchable. Science to that. You don't fraternize, you don't do too much talking, you do not interact. Now, this is completely different than the ministry concept. You are withdrawn. After you get through speaking and people have heard you, they want to meet you. You do not meet at the end of the platform. You meet at the book table. So if they're going to talk to you, they got to get in line to purchase a book. Some people will purchase a book just to meet you. And you sit there with your fancy signature and sign. Next. Sign. Next. Sign. And next. Now, why do we sell books in audio? One, to emphasize the principles we taught. But get this. What will happen is audio leaves a remembrance of who you are in the minds of the people that you work with. People at times will forget you, no matter how great you are. They'll slip in audio, see a book, and it's like, wow, this guy was really good. We've got to bring her in again to do this or work with us. We can use her again. No matter how successful you are, if they constantly have speakers that are great, they'll forget you. You were just a person at the time, an expense at the time, an event of the time, and they may not always remember you for their next event. It used to be what was popular was business cards because people would keep business cards in their wallet or their purse, and they would pull out a business card and say, oh, yeah, this is his number. Let me contact. You'll be surprised at decisions. So on your CDs, on your DVDs, great labeling, how to reach you, not just your name. You don't want to make it that difficult to be able to reach your booking agency or your booking company that does. Joining a speakers guild. There's a couple speaker guilds that are out there. We'll talk about that, how important to be a part of a speakers guild. That's very important, being a part of that. What is the other note we said? That is important. Let's see. There's quite a few speaker guilds to be a part of. Joining one is important. because it gives a speaker's profile. Now, in that speaker's guild, your prices are always going to be high in that speaker's guild. Okay? And they're going to be they're going to have a range that you may speak anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000. Now, of course, you may speak for less, and that's left up. I will tell you all the time, your prices should be set high, because some clients will just pay it. They'll pay the $2,000 or try to be modest, and they'll pay $3,500. Some clients are always going to try to Jew you down. If your prices is $2,000, they'll at least try to say, can we get you for $1,500? It's just the nature of people. And even if you got to be careful of going for less. When you agree to do something for less, what you do is you have to say, okay, I will come for less, but you're expecting 500 people there. I need to be able to move this amount of product. And can you ensure me that your audience will be able to purchase? And if not, will your bookstore or will your organization purchase the remainder of our product and be able to give it to people at a later day, a part of a fundraiser or what have you? So I negotiate a bare minimum to make sure at least $500 worth. So I'm still getting my same base $2,000. You get out of any business deal what you negotiate. Now, should they talk with you about all of this? No. I recommend an agent or someone that has some really great skills and understands your heart, whether that be your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, I don't know. You want to always be personable and extremely nice to the host when you speak to them. But the business aspect, you oftentimes want someone else to run it. Okay? This is where we keep you at a star appeal. It's important that you create that aura, because there will be an aura of expectation about you if you do it this way. So now, you've got yourself going to venues. The question is, many of you said, I've been trying to write a book for the longest, and I've not been able to successfully pen a book. So what makes me think that I'm going to be able to do it now to do this? That's a task that's difficult. I'm going to say Lily Speech. Write this word down, Lily Speech. It is an app that will fit on your computer. Lily Speech is about one of the most accurate voice translators that I know. So I oftentimes tell people, this is what you do. You got to be careful, because you can play something and Lily Speech will pick up and translate it too. Got friends of mine that'll take recordings that they've done, put on Lily Speech and play it, and Lily Speech will start doing it. You need a very good USB microphone. Rhodes has a really great one, pretty cheap. But you need a great USB microphone. Now, when you do this with Lily Speech, I recommend that you do two things. If you're dealing with relationships, I recommend that you do two things. You outline everything that you're going to talk about versus relationship. 1.1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. The 5 things I'm going to deal with relationship. I may do sub-points in there, and I put in front of my microphone, and I speak. I do an intro. I speak in my intro. Then I deal with point number 1, and I talk as long as I want out of my head. Most of us have it already in their head. They just don't have it written down. They got to type it. That's when they lose problems. So you talk out everything that you want to talk out. You go to chapter, point 2 will be chapter 2. You talk out everything that you want to talk. Now, you're going to do this through all 5 chapters. Because remember, this is a $9.99 book or an ebook, roughly $10. And you're going to talk out all these. You're going to be able to, each section will give you, through talking, anywhere from 10 to 15 pages. Because you're going to talk for over an hour with each section. So now you've got 15 pages. With intro, cover, you're looking at anywhere from 75 to 100 pages. A nice small book. Not too thick, not too small. 100 pages. Now, for $9.99, it becomes an excellent, easy purchase for $10 on your table. Now, what do you do with the audio? Because there's ands and ums. There are a host of translators that, editors that edit work that's been transcribed. They range from online. They range from anywhere from $15 to $75. The charge for editing, removing the ums and making sure certain words are used are correct, tweaking, anywhere from $15 to $75. And if you contact me, I can tell you some sources and places to go to get that. $15 to $75. Now, once you do that, the editor may not necessarily be what we call a typeset editor. They may not be the person that will put it in typeset. Now, if you're using this group, the 48 Hour, and some of this iUniverse or some of these other self-publications, they have a group that does the typeset. You just get the edited version to them. If not, there are people that will do typeset for $10 to $15 online. They do your typeset. They divide the chapters, the pages, the numbers. They do your table of contents. $10, $15, $25. Okay? They do it in a book format. Now, once that has been done, sometimes you can go to a cover maker, a person that will make your cover, or you can have a ebook person that will take the typeset, create the ebook and the cover for you, all in one. All in one. And they normally charge anywhere from $25 to $50. So now every month, every 2 months, you can come out with a different book on a different subject matter. So you're not waiting every 6 months, every year, every 2 years coming out with them. These ebooks or small books you're able to produce on a regular basis. And books turn into product. Product sells when traveling. I can't say to you that how much you can make from an event having product. Especially if the book costs you, some of these companies for $200, they'll give you 50 books. If you sell the book for $15 a pop, you do the math, you made $500, $600, $700 each event. There's some that for $1,000, they will give you 200 books. 200 books being sold at $10 a pop, that's $2,000. Um, and you should shop around for printing, because sometimes you can even find them cheaper than that. There are a lot of deals that some of these publishing houses have that are self-publishing for printing, for reprinting. After the typeset and everything has been done, most of the work is really easy for them to be able to do it. And an ebook, oh God, ebooks online and having an ebook library for people to download the books, selling them for $10 is really cheap. A $9.99, because what do you have? What cost did it cost you? Really nothing to have it online, and for you to make that money while you actually sleep. Now, what does this do for you? What does all of this do for you? First of all, the unfortunate reality, if you see it on the news tonight, is true, even if it's a lie. The third thing, if you hear it on the radio, it's probably true. If you see it in print, it's definitely true. Because all I believe is black and white. That's how we're trained to think. So what happens is, if you're dealing with keys to marriage and it's written, people believe that it's vettable. It may be a bunch of hogwash, in my opinion. But they believe it's vettable because you wrote it. Now, what does that mean? That means your rates as a life coach can go from $50 an hour to $180 an hour to $300 an hour, because you're an accomplished author. You're an expert at these things. Maybe your series that you did in your month March was effective business strategies, how women make it in the workplace. I don't know. So maybe now you are authoritarian on that particular matters because you have videos out there on it. And we'll talk about how to optimize your numbers of video views. That's a whole nother section. But what's happened is, and we'll kind of just marinate here, this is building that profile. I oftentimes tell people, don't make the mistake I have. I have multiple pages. I recommend that you get one Facebook page and one celebrity page on Facebook. Get it certified so you got the blue check. But one page. Anybody else that can't, so they either follow you or get on your fan page. That's real important, because at doing this, less people have accessibility to you. It's easier to maintain. You need one Twitter account, one Instagram. Now, there are a bunch of other stuff out, like LinkedIn, that works, and there's tons of other options that are out there. When you talk about social media, there are literally hundreds of formats. Those are the main: Twitter, Instagram, and actually Instagram and Facebook are in bed together. So you can do a Facebook ad, and we'll talk about ads for your book and promos for statements and stuff like that. We'll talk about how to build your social media presence and how does your social media presence help. I can say that it represents multiple thousands of dollars for me, and we'll kind of show you how your social media hand can help advance your life coaching business. The key for this is, oftentimes said, building universal credibility. You may be credible as a voice with the people that know you, but the world is so much bigger than the sphere of your current influence. These are equalizers that take your sphere of influence, makes it accessible to all ethnicities, cultures, locations, places, because the wonderful worldwide world of the web allows you to be as large as you want in these formats, such as YouTube, the book sales on Amazon, being able to purchase, all of these things make you credible and vettable. Now, your vettability is everything in building your profile as a expert, as a counselor, and an expert as a life coach. Because remember now, we're building your profile. We're making people realize who you are and that your voice now counts. Now, you may say to yourself, that that is a lot of work to do. It really is. But some of the things that I've given you are nuggets how to expedite doing the work in a short amount of time. So when it might have taken others forever to do these things, if you will listen to some of the things that I've suggested to you, you will be amazed at how quickly you'll be able to execute these tasks. These are little cheats that we've got that makes things very effective at coaching and developing these aspects. You say to me, picture, profile, and everything. Now, I'm going to make some statements that are very important. Keep photos as closely resembled as yourself because you don't want to be a lie. No catfishing. It may be you, and you want to, there are ways in Photoshop to give you a little bit of a tummy reduction. That's one thing. Keep pigmentation as close to your pigmentation as possible. I don't want you to be midnight dark. I know this person is dark as midnight. When I saw the pictures, I thought she was extremely light. And when I was looking for her, I was like, where's she at? That's her. I was like, no. That's not the lady on the picture. You want to be careful of that because if the belief is that you're distrustful, dishonest, then it will be hard for me to trust you with my life as a coach. Do you understand what I mean? And I'm not telling you to have an UGMO picture. Find someone that can release your essence because all of us have an inner beauty, but they can grab your inner beauty and make it apparent. Now, there's some tweaking, there's some removing some wrinkles, there's some bags under eyes and stuff. That stuff is acceptable. But be careful of those that almost change how you look, the signature of who you are. And realize whether you're male or female, you need makeup on when doing photos. So these are important things that you need to add to your profile when doing it. Sometimes I see pastor glamour pictures that are done, and I see them, I'm like, that is not the same person. Be very leery as a life coach, because remember now, this is the other aspect of coaching. This is the stuff that's going to get you with groups, corporate and corporations, as we work on different subject matters, finding your niche. You'll teach in your niche more often than you do anything else. And this is what's going to open the door because you're going to do niche teaching, specific subject matters in these niches. This is what's going to open the door. When you are profound at this, your honorarium, Nancy's honorarium is, I think, Miss Harmon, her honorarium to travel is $120,000 to open her mouth. There are quite a few public speakers, success coaches. For them to speak, it's a minimum of $40,000 to $50,000. They started here. John Maxwell has a new book coming out every time you turn around. It's a redoing of an existing book, some same concepts, but every time you turn around, you see a new book for John Maxwell. He gets to recording it. They get to transcribing it. It's from teaching series, outlines, and they make it work. Because the more visible you are, now it seems that he's an authoritarian on leading from the middle. Um, his books are full of concepts that other writers have taught over the years. He's just transcribed it in his own words, said it and repackaged it, and it works. So don't be ashamed to glean insight if you can reinterpret the insight into a palatable way so people can understand it in your own words. So do your research. Make sure that what you selling is vettable, worth its weight. Utilizing these skills will completely change your profile. It's amazing when people ask me, they say, well, how do you pick up stars and how do you pick up on people that's happening? Because guess what? Everyone has YouTube. Everyone's searching for an answer. And they are, whether they're an NFL star or the latest singer, they're looking for someone to address that itch in their life. But you've got to put yourself out there so people can identify who you are so that you can address and serve their need. Does that make sense? Are there some questions with some of the stuff that we've already gone over? Okay. So, one of the things that we want to do is, for final assignment, give me some book titles, some things that you want to do an ebook on, and some titles. I know we talked about what we'll do our YouTube channel on. The subject matters in our YouTube channel, but give me some ebook, some things that you want to write on, and give me this outline that we talked about. I'm not asking you for the audio of it. I'm simply asking for the outline. I want to see how you process information and where your rationale is. And let's work through that, okay? And there's so many comments and stuff that we've given from the information. Please give me feedback. Some book titles, and then give me one outline up to, I use 5, but let's go to 6. 6 points in our outline. These will be 6 6 chapters in your book. Okay? Again, I'm not asking for the audio transcription of it. I'm not asking you at this point to type out the details as much as I want just the title of your audiobook and 6 supporting points. I think those will help us. Let's see what we got here. I think those will help us as we're moving forward at being able to put things in proper perspective. The questions, does any of that make sense? Okay, makes pretty much sense to you. And hopefully you that are streaming with us, it'll make sense to you as well. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed some of the coverage of information. It was a little rougher today for me, but I'm sure that this information will be very, very, very vettable, implementable, and thank you. Team is letting me know. I think it should be very helpful. So you have your assignments. Now, some of you that are confused of where to send it, there are 2 places you can send it. You can send it to BishopZJackson@iCloud.com, or you can send it to info, I-N-F-O, at greateducation.com. And great in education is one word, It's all together, greateducation.com. Okay? Thank you so much. This concludes our session for today. Enjoy your day.